So I made a video about a very creepy video I watched. It was sort of a reaction video. Somebody suggested a video on stream. I watched it. I was very creeped out, uploaded my reaction to it. And in that video, I mentioned that lolicon bad, that the sexualization of childlike traits is bad, and that it's, it's pretty unhealthy to be into it. And finding lolicon attractive is an unhealthy thing. It is an abnormal sexual attraction, right? And I thought that was a pretty simple take, but these lolicons, every time it comes up in any context, they're out here defending their 12-year-old looking virtual waifus, right? And it started with this guy, and he's like, lolicon here, the guy that made that video is definitely a lolicon, straight up Kuma. So as far as I'm concerned, especially being from a country where it is illegal and it is considered child porn, this person's going, hey, non-molesting pedophile here. Like, he hasn't molested kids. I'm not going to assume he has. But lolicon here means pedophile here. Alright? So I don't recommend admitting that here. Duncan is hardcore against lolicon. That said, so am I. He's claiming to be lolicon too. I could care less. Also, you sure like Genshin Impact. Glad to see your videos about a certain lolly. And he's like, just the only thing I bothered streaming. I don't know if I want to continue or not. So you're not addressing the lolly title in your videos? For someone who claimed to be against lolicon, you sure don't show it. You misunderstood. I meant that I am also like you, not like Duncan. The way you typed your first comment alludes that you are against lollies. Then my bad, dude. And he's like, no, I need to tell you I'm one of you. I needed to let you know that I'm an ally, that we're both lollies. Fucking freak. This guy Arthur got so much worse. Hold up, polled 80%, said molested. Shit means it's more like 95 to 99%. Absolutely. The poll was ran on less than 100 people.
That's hardly accurate. Plus, it applies molested very vaguely. In Japan, accidentally touching someone's leg can be counted as that. That's so common in the US that no one even talks about it.
Actually, if you brush up against a girl's leg and with your hand and stuff, yeah, I'm pretty sure that would be talked about, but whatever.
People are just more worried about getting shot or mugged. Japan legit has one of the lowest crime rates of any nation, especially compared to Western nations.
All right, Weeaboo, let's talk about this. Prime Minister Abe has done everything he can possibly do to pad his positive numbers on the international stage. And if you don't know that, that's an ish you, not an ish me, okay? The second thing is, you look at the actual statistics of women who have said that they have reported it and it's not been dealt with. They have the worst rates in the first world. The worst rates in the first world of molestation and sexual abuse of women. It's just a fact, right? When done by independent review from outside of Japan, it's found to be the worst. But when they self-report figures, it's found to be one of the best, right? You know what that means? That means the police don't give a shit. That means when people report it, it's suppressed, or it said, no, you were asking for it, or you were just bad. They still blame the woman in Japan. It is normal in their society to blame the woman. And that is the problem. So women don't come forward because they don't want to be labeled as somebody who wanted that. Or when they come forward, they're ignored because they don't have enough proof. So please, let's just believe Japanese women when they have no reason to lie. And most of the time, they're not even naming names when they say it's happened to them. It's happened to them. It happens all the time. There's a reason that they have to have women-only trains in Tokyo. There is a reason for that. And it's nothing to do with, girls just wanting to hang out and do their makeup on the train. You know what I mean? It's not like they just decided out of nowhere, hey, we want to have a girl time on a girl train. Great. All right? You idiot. Anyway. It continues. What I was saying is if a high amount reported, there is a good amount that didn't. But continue talking about how Japan has a low crime rate.
Well, it still applies. That's literally anti-Japan propaganda. Western countries like the US and UK actually show potential that even higher numbers go unreported here, which could indicate that Western numbers may be even higher than Japanese numbers, especially when you consider underreported cases. But since that's no way to go by that, you can go, instead of practically and anecdotal evidence... What? Instead by practicality and anecdotal evidence? Hey, sorry, I had to stop there. Let's ignore the facts and figures. Why would we look at statistics and studies?
Let's instead go on practicality, which, what is that? And anecdotal evidence.
Which also suggests that Japan has immensely lower rates. No matter how you look at it, Japan has way lower abuse rates than almost any country.
No, that's not true. It's just not true. When you look at it by an independent international investigation, it has some of the worst in the first world, if not the worst in the first world. And there are people here with stories. My wife lived in Japan. She was white, who are generally not molested because Japanese guys would rather target Japanese women who are unlikely to report. And even she was groped on public transport, right? Like, it happens. It happens to everyone. It happens to schoolgirls. There is a high demand for schoolgirls to work after school in maid cafes. There is a weird obsession in Japan with underage girls, and the root cause of it, in my opinion, is lolicon. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes, all right? Let's get into the meat of this whole thing. We've had our appetizer. I've poisoned the well and good by mocking these guys. Let's talk about lolly, and let's talk about why I think lolicon is so messed up. When it comes to child pornography, there are two problems with child pornography, right? There is the fact an actual child was abused, and there is the fact that somebody is getting sexual gratification from looking at the child pornography. The fact that somebody is getting sexual gratification from that is abnormal, and it is wrong, right? So yes, when you are talking about lolicon, you remove one aspect of that, which is an actual child getting hurt. And that is great. But what you also do is allow the normalization of the sexualization of children and childlike characteristics. Yeah, I'm ready for you, people with your 9,000-year-old vampire waifu who looks 8 and talks about sucking dick, all right? We know what it is. It's an excuse. It's the legal lolly excuse. And it doesn't fly. It really doesn't. It doesn't track at all. So why do I think it's so gross to find sexual gratification or sexual attraction to childlike characters? Because they look like children, and being attracted to children is gross? Finding children sexually attractive is gross? Is this sinking in? Is this working? Like, hello internet, I have an incredibly hot take apparently. Finding children sexually attractive is gross. Finding drawings of children sexually attractive is gross for the same reason, because you are getting turned on by an image of a child. You understand that, right? What if it was CGI and it was so realistic that it looked real? What if it was the best CGI in the world, deep fake level CGI? Is it still okay because no kid is getting harmed? Are you still good with it? Are you good with just raw dog porn done with deep fake and really good CGI? And that's fine because no actual child's getting hurt? Your logic doesn't track. It's just this weird, you like it because you're a bit weird. Maybe you're not properly, you didn't, finish your sexual development properly. Maybe you had social issues, and as a result, you're idolizing the sort of age range of, like, this is generally for ephebophiles, like people who like early high school or like freshman girls, where they like 14 to 15-year-olds who've gone through puberty because they couldn't get laid in high school. I don't understand how this is a controversial take. I don't understand how, I've talked about it loads. Like, finding childlike attributes sexy is weird. The fact that this is a sexualized lolly found on many lolicon waifu lists is fucking weird to me. What is sexually attractive about this person? Like, what feature is sexually attractive about this? Like, there's got to be the question, right? If you are watching or going and finding Rule 34 of this character, why are you choosing this character and not an adult female character with massive tits like, I don't know, Nami from One Piece, Lust from Full Metal Alchemist, any of these fucking characters? Because I guarantee you, there's porn of all of them, right? Why do you choose the child characters? Or the characters that look like children? Why is that the choice that lollies make? You see? When you ask the question like that, when people are like, it's just cartoons, so why don't you look at cartoons of adults? If it's cartoons you're attracted to, why not cartoons of adults? Why are you attracted to this character? Look at her. They even put her in a bunny kigurumi, but you guys, what? She's on top sexy teacher lists? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is this real life? Are you really seriously sitting there and telling me that this is normal? That this isn't weird? That this isn't some sort of gateway drug? Right? Do you know where the word lolicon comes from? Because a lot of people try and make the argument, right? Oh, a lolicon was never meant to be pornographic. Well, Japan adopted Lolita and Lolita complex from the same place. Fashion took Lolita based on the time period that a book was written about, right? So there was a book, went viral in Japan, super popular for some reason. I think there was a comic as well, called The Lolita Complex. And it is about a dude who fucks a kid. That's the basics of it. Don't read it. It's a fucking weird book. That piece of literature probably should never have been written, especially with what it's resulted in. But Lolita Complex became a very popular book in Japan. And some people took it for fashion, and that's where Lolita fashion comes from. Inspired by the same book, but nothing to do with the fucking of a kid, and everything to do with super extravagant Victorian England. So Lolita fashion is this sort of like, I don't even know, it's like turbo goth for the goth style of it, and like turbo candy for the turbo Victorian. It's ultra Victorian, right? It's the most, like, yeah, it's turbo Victorian fashion. It's like Victorian fashion, but turned up to like 4,000. They show very little skin. They wear these huge dresses. They wear like fucking, you know, Victorian style dresses. You know what I'm saying? Like Victorian style dresses. And sometimes they go a bit punky. Sometimes, like, and they've talked about changing the name of it so many times. And I have a really good friend who is super into Lolita fashion, and she like goes to work dressed like this. It's fucking fierce. It is fierce. She goes to work basically every day dressed like this. Fierce as hell, right? Lolita, fierce as hell. Lolly, not fierce. Lolicon is based on a portmanteau of lolly complex, and it's talking about the complex, Lolita complex, lolicon. And it's talking about the complex of the guy from the book who, again, fucked a child. And you were then saying, oh, wow, look at this sexy character on my top 5 waifus list. Look at this child being drawn in a sexualized way with like the pseudo upskirt. Oh, and by the way, that's her brother. Oh, I'm sorry, step brother. But she calls him Oni-san, and then she's all nude in the shower while he talks about how horny that makes him and tries to throw a phone in to snap pictures. This shit happens in an anime. And then people are like, Duncan, go watch No Game No Life. It's a great anime. It's absolutely great. Wait, it's her actual brother? Wait, it's just flat out her biological brother? Y'all are fucking weird. Yo. Lolicons, y'all are fucking weird, dude. You guys are fucking weird, man. Oh, you guys are fucking weird. You're some freaks. You're actually some freaks. I'm just saying it. Like, I'm gonna put it out there. Y'all are freaks, okay? You can cry in the comments. You can cry in Twitch chat. You can have a fucking go. If you're a lolicon, you're a fucking freak. You're an absolute weirdo. If this shit is your shit, you're fucking weird. You're weird, dude. If this shit's your shit, you're weird. You're weird. I'm sorry. You're weird. It should be illegal. It is illegal where I'm from. I'm glad it's illegal where I'm from, all right? You fucking weird ass fucking watching shit. Look, okay? When it comes to morals, I'm gonna go with my word. And if I'm ever looking for advice on how to fuck my cousin while I chew tobacco at the same time, I'll come ask you hick lolly-loving fucks. I really will, because I have no idea. I have no idea how we got here. Like, how do we get to a point where people are, like, vehemently defending lolicon on the internet? How are we at that point? Like, I just... You're nonces. You're all nonces. Every single one of you is a nonce. Every single one. You're all nonces. Get over it. Like, go get help. Get therapy. Get over it. Right? I don't know who hurt you, who put you in the situation where you feel the need to dominate a cartoon child, or where people are writing shit like this. Oh, it's not child pornography. It literal meaning misleads Google. Yeah, does it? Does it? But then you're talking about how sexy these characters are. When you're talking about, oh, but don't worry, she's 100 years old. It's fine. But physically looks like an 11-year-old petite girl. What's wrong with you? What? This is more a girl in Lolita fashion, but I'm sure they sexualize her. Like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Okay? If you like this, if you're finding this sexually attractive, what's wrong with you? Okay? That's it. That's the whole question. There's nothing else to say. All right? And if you don't find lolly sexually attractive, go ahead and head to my Twitch channel and use your Twitch Prime on me if you haven't already. All right? Sub to me with Twitch Prime. Give me Jeff Bezos' money. We'll put down lolicon together. All right? I got you back. I think it's weird. You think it's weird. Let's think it's weird together. Come hang out in the best community on the internet. Twitch.tv/DuncanCantDie. Shameless self-plug just to make myself feel better about covering this subject. Oh, gross.